Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I'm out taking a bit of an extended hike today, and there's one topic you always see the preppers talk about on YouTube and stuff, and that's the bug out or the get home walk. Something happened, you have to grab your pack that you put together and walk to a specific area. And I've been seeing a few more videos lately where some of the bigger prepping and survival channels are doing walks like this. And I've been doing this for years, and I actually got a few videos up on that. And I've done walks like this for a long time. I've done them in rural areas, I've done them in urban areas, I've done them at night, and I've done them with different people that I know. Because if something happens, you know, it's going to boil down to you and your legs to get you back to a safe location. And what I like to do is I like to have somebody drop me off at a specific spot, whatever. I picked sort of this spot today because it's out and about from my area. I'll give you a little swing around here. Get dropped off and walk back to a different location. I actually live over there somewhere, and I'm just walking home, and it's a really decent and safe way to check out your gear. Practice with your pack, you know, look for resources, pick out some type of potential problems, like if there's a house that's got a bunch of dogs or something running around on it, that might be a potential problem for somebody that's out hiking on foot. But anyway, thought I'd take you guys along today, let you tag along, and I'll point out some points of interest here on this walk, and maybe talk about the gear a little bit, and show you guys what an actual get home walk might look like. All right, guys, here is the first thing that I want to mention, something that's very important that nobody really mentions much. See that telephone pole back there? There is a no trespassing sign on that, and I've seen videos where people are taking get home walks and stuff, and I don't know if they're doing that on public land or in parks, or if they got permission to be on that property or whatnot. But I'm here to tell you, out here in the country, everybody has a defensive implement. And if something bad really did happen and people were on edge, the last thing that you want to do is be crossing across somebody else's property when, you know, people are on edge and they don't know what's going on. You see a lot of people when they talk, they say, oh, I'm not going to, you know, walk along the roads. That's dangerous and whatever. And I understand that. Yeah. Later into an event where there could be, you know, marauders and that kind of stuff, I can see where maybe walking on the path of least resistance could be a problem. But in the first day or two, if something bad happened, where people are kind of holed up in their houses or on their property or whatnot, and you're just cutting across random pieces of private property, I can see out here where I live, that could be a huge problem. It's going to be much easier to explain, hey, I'm walking down the road, something happened, you know, I'm walking down the road, I'm just trying to get home to my family. That's going to be a lot easier to explain what you're doing than if you're caught on somebody else's property when something bad happened. You're going to get labeled as a trespasser and a potential problem. But anyway, we keep walking here, show you a few more things, and share a few more thoughts with you guys. All right, guys, here we are at a little point of interest that I want to mention a couple of things for here. This little bridge right here is the kind of things that you want to look for. And, you know, we're all human. It's going to be, if you're walking 10 or 15 miles, you're probably going to have to stop and take a break. And the one thing that you don't want to do is when you do stop and take a break is you want to be out of the line of sight of people. And a little bridge like this, or a ditch or a culvert, is a great place to take a break, because you can get down in, you can get out of the line of sight, and you can take your break and not have to worry about being spotted. Now, there's one thing that sticks out when you're walking. I mean, I'm wearing camouflage shirt today, but, you know, any dark or earth tone colored clothing is going to camouflage you probably enough, but your face stands out. So one of the things that's nice to carry with you is something like that's actually what's called a sniper's veil. It's a little piece of netting, but, you know, everybody carries schmogs and stuff in their packs, but those are good things to cover your face up so they can't, you can't pick that out. That is a sign of a predator in the natural world when you have a brown or dark colored body with a lighter colored face, and it spooks animals, and it will also allow people to pick you out, and you don't want to be spotted if you're walking home. You want to do just the basic things to stay concealed. Anyway, I'm going to show you a couple more things here on this little bridge. All right, guys, you can see here underneath this bridge there is a pretty significant amount of water, and that water is coming in here from the drain tiles and other little tributaries that are running into this here. And whenever you're getting water this time of year in these agricultural areas, you're going to have some kind of chemical contamination in the water. And to reduce that is you want to take the water out of the largest amount of water that you can possibly find. Now, taking water out of that big spot right there compared to just a small drain tile coming out of a field, any contamination is going to be diluted in that water right there. And well, it's still present if it came down to dying of dehydration or, you know, purifying and taking this water here. I'm not going to die of dehydration if I can help it. So I'm going to filter that water there out of that larger area. And I'm actually going to show you here real quick how to get water out of that. All right, guys, I have dropped my pack here, and I'm going to show you guys how to get some water easily so you don't have to crawl down these banks and potentially, you know, twist an ankle or fall in and get wet if it's cold outside, or get poison ivy if the bank's covered with poison ivy. And what I did is I pulled out my Ridgeline kit here, and this is the same Ridgeline kit that I carry to hang my poncho, and I grabbed my cup out and my pot hanger that goes into my cup. Now I'm going to use these carabiners here to clip into the top of that, and then basically lower my cup down into that water and pull some water out, and that way I could use that to fill up my water bottle, so I can either boil it or put my tablets in, or put it into another bottle so I could use my mini Sawyer to go ahead and filter that. Anyway, I'm going to rig this up here quick and show you how to dip some water. All right, guys, I'm going to show you how I've got this rigged up here. I took my figure 9 carabiner that I always carry with my Ridgeline, and I clipped that through the top of my pot hanger there. And then this is a very important aspect of this. I tied a loop in the opposite end of my Ridgeline, and I put one of my carabiners in that loop, and then I actually tied off my Ridgeline. Of course, because my Ridgeline and my cup and stuff, this is valuable, so I don't want to lose this. And basically all I'm going to do now is, because I got the weight on the end of this, we're going to drop that down in nice and slow. And there, we just dipped ourselves water out of there without leaving this bridge and having any type of problems like getting wet, getting into poison ivy, falling, and twisting an ankle. Now we would just transfer that water into our other steel container so we could purify it or boil it or whatever we needed to do. Well, I'm back moving again. Back up there is where that other little bridge was, where I dipped the water. And one thing I want to mention about dehydration that's sort of insidious. You know, when it's hot outside and you're sweating and whatnot, you know that you're getting dehydrated. But on a day like today, it's not that hot. It's in the 60s, but there is a stiff breeze blowing, and that wind constantly blowing on your face and your exposed skin will suck the moisture out of your body just like a dehydrator. And in conditions like this, you don't think, oh, well, I'm not really sweating or anything. It's in conditions like this where you particularly want to make yourself stop every so often and take a little bit of water so that you don't dehydrate, because I'm here to tell you, I've walked in conditions like this already, and next thing you know, I got a damn headache, and I'm like, man, what's wrong with me? And I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm starting to get dehydrated. So you always want to take periodic breaks to stop and drink water, especially in conditions where you don't necessarily think that you're getting dehydrated too quick. But anyway, I'm gonna keep walking here for you guys. You guys see that woodlot back there. That woodlot runs along that farm drain that I dipped the water out for you guys. And I actually seen some deer over there. Those deer seen me walking down the road here, and they took off, and there's still a couple of them that are back there. But it reminded me of something that I wanted to mention. So many times on walks like this, I've ran across some type of game animal, whether it was a pheasant or a woodchuck or a deer or a rabbit. And a lot of that stuff that I ran across was within probably 20 yards. And if it was a really, really bad situation and it really was a desperate situation, you can harvest animals with a defensive tool. Those aren't just for warding off bad guys, so to speak. You can use those to harvest game, because a lot of the game that you're going to walk up on in a situation like this is going to be close, less than 20 yards. So a snapshot might be able to get you dinner. Of course, you couldn't do this in times like they are right now. You'd be a poacher and you'd be asking nothing but asking for trouble. But if it was a true SHTF situation, don't think that you can't harvest some type of animal with a defensive implement. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking here. Show you guys here another little resource. Just walking here, and there is a little bit of a burn spot down here in this ditch, and you can see here there are apples that somebody trimmed a tree and threw it down here on the burn pile. But then there you go, there's just another resource that I picked up here walking along that I can stick in my pocket and continue to move, and later I can eat these. As you guys can see here, I'm on another bridge, and I hope you guys are picking out the pattern here. I'm not necessarily walking in a straight line to my destination. I'm following my water source. That way, even though it's going to take me a little bit longer to get to my destination, I am close to my water source, and whenever I need water, I could stop, grab some, purify it, do whatever I got to do. I've also thrown my boonie hat on here because the sun's getting a little bit higher in the sky, and don't want to get sunburned on my ears and the back of my neck. It's another good reason to have a boonie hat, because you got a brim that goes all the way around. One of my nice gifts that I got here from my good buddy Uncle Bumble. But anyway, I'm going to keep walking here and show you guys a few more things. Another little point of interest here that I want to point out for you guys is standing cornfields. I am literally like 3 steps away from completely disappearing. If I didn't want to be seen along this road, or I seen a vehicle or something coming in one way or another, all I got to literally do is take 3 steps and go 2 rows, 3 rows back in the corn, get down. Nothing's going to see me. Nothing's going to see me at all. And that reminds me of a story. Back when I was a kid, a bull got out around here. That bull was literally gone for 2 weeks, and there were like sightings. It was almost like a UFO sighting. Always, somebody saw the bull over on this road or that road, and that's how that bull hid all those days before they finally caught him, was in standing corn. You can hide an animal that big in standing corn. Another thing with a standing corn, it's actually a great place to hunt if you know what you're doing. Still moving along here, staying close to my water source. We're going to keep moving. We're starting to get into a little bit more of residential areas where there's more houses. Another thing you learn on walks like this, you notice how people react to your presence, because seeing a dude wearing a boonie hat and a backpack walking down a country road, well, not super rare. It is a little bit more unusual, and I can honestly say 90% of the people that I've encountered today, I either got a wave or a nod or something of that nature. And I did have a couple people give me the stink eye, and gives you a pretty good idea the people in the area, how they are. And You get that in the city too. When I've walked around in urban areas, people will generally, if you carry yourself in a certain way, people will generally give you a nod and just leave you alone. And that's sort of what you want. You want to be friendly, but you want to project the appearance that you're just a somebody moving through. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking here and show you my water source one more time. Well, guys, I finally said goodbye to my little water source that I've been following here for a few miles, and I'm going to go ahead here probably about another mile, and then I'm going to come to a sort of a major highway. I'm going to cross that highway, and then I'm going to take you guys down to a little place I know to do a wrap up for you on this video. See what I mean about having food available to you? That could have been dinner right there if need be. And here would have been more than enough wood to cook that woodchuck if it would have been necessary. Some of it's even apple wood, I believe. Well, guys, I decided I was going to take a little bit of a break and do a wrap up for you guys. It is about 6 o'clock in the evening. I started at 1 o'clock this afternoon, so I've been walking about 5 hours. According to my phone, I went just a little bit over 10 miles today, and that's with stopping and filming and scavenging a few things like this apple here that I'm having a snack with. Pretty sweet too. So that gives you guys a little bit of an idea of what a person could do with a small pack in basically in an afternoon. 10 miles in 5 hours I think is pretty decent, and with stopping and filming and stuff, if you didn't stop and do all that stuff, I don't think there's any reason why an average person can't make 20 miles in a day if they had to. Even with stopping and picking up a few things along the way. So, you know, if you have the opportunity, get out and do stuff like this. Evaluate your equipment, evaluate your skills, kind of figure out what you can do, you know, because if something bad happens where you do have to walk 20 miles, it's good to have that foreknowledge ahead of time so you can do those things if you have to. Few takeaways, you know, few, I guess, recommendations on my part. Have a pad to sit on. I'm actually sitting on a pad right now that I pretty much carried with me for the last couple of years already, and always have a way to gather water so you can collect water along the way. You know, have a means of protection with you, and remember that means of protection can also, in a pinch, provide food for you if need be. It's not always, when you're carrying defensive tools like that, it's not always about, you know, the bad guys. Sometimes it's about sustenance to a certain extent. Evaluate what you need in your pack. Have multi-use items. Have items just like that Ridgeline that can be used for multiple different things. Always constantly evaluate, pare down what you got so you're not carrying more weight than you have to carry. But I wish I seen more people on YouTube in the preparedness circles get out and do more stuff like this. I would love to see more people showing their gear while they're using it, and not just you know, tabletop reviews and stuff. But anyway, hope you guys got something out of this video here. I sure enjoyed making it for you. Just another walk for me, but hopefully somebody can get some information out of this video here to benefit themselves. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys got a little entertainment, a little information, and some things to think about again out of this video, and you guys have a good one.